This is part 5 of Troop 566's Coleman 3-burner liquid fuel stove tutorial, and it is entitled Storage. When you are all done cooking and cleaning up after the last meal of your trip, it is time to get the stove ready for transport home. Make sure the stove is completely cooled down from operation. Use some warm water and a sponge to clean the grate and any foodstuffs that have escaped and are now stuck to your stove. Be careful, as the stove is made of metal and has many sharp little places. Leaving foodstuff on your stove for more than a few days will eat the baked enamel off the stove. This is the easiest way to destroy the stove, as it will quickly rust without the enamel. It is not necessary to drain any remaining Coleman fuel from the gas tank after use. We would only consider this if the fuel is stored for over 2 summers before its next use. Coleman did not make draining the fuel an easy proposition. Seek adult help and supervision if you attempt to do it. It is very important to release all the pressure from the gas tank. You should take the gas tank away from any ignition source. A little fuel can be sprayed when releasing the pressure. Place the tank in your safe area on a flat level surface with the filler neck up. Position your hands in a manner that will prevent spray from escaping far, and especially from getting in your eyes. Turn the cap slowly counterclockwise, lefty-loosey. You will either hear the hiss of pressure being released from the tank, or you will completely unscrew the cap to prove it is out of pressure. Do not put the lid down, but immediately put it back on the filler neck and turn gently clockwise and make sure it threads easily as not to damage the threads. If it threads hard, remove the cap counterclockwise and try again. Be sure to turn it clockwise righty-tighty until it firmly stops. Once you've done that, you take out the tank from the stove. You may need to remove any food particles that were not available when the stove was cleaned earlier. Lift the grate and place the tank backwards into the bottom of the oven, taking care to position the generator rod in the slot in front of the stove. You need to make sure that the generator rod passes through the slot here at the stove. You can pack extra items in the other end of the stove here, things like cooking utensils or paper towels. Then you can close up the stove and lock it up. Once you get the stove home, check it again to make sure it is clean, as paint damage is the easiest way to destroy the stove, and storing it clean and dry is the key to make it last forever. In Boy Scouts, it is often true that the stove is stored at someone else's house when not in use. Those who host the storage of the stove may wish to double check that the stove fuel tank pressure is released and the filler cap is firmly closed. The stove should be kept in a dry location and out of sunlight, typically in a garage, basement, or shed. The same goes with the cooler.